What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Starcraft 2 video. This one features two of the best Zerg players playing currently in the world. Spawning here in the top right hand corner of Black Pink LE, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's very well known in the Starcraft 2 pro scene, and he's currently down 0-1 against his opponent and wants to get this series back in his favor. His name is Nerchio. And his opponent, spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Zerg pieces. He's currently up in the series and wants to keep this series rolling in his favor. His name is Serral. So, guys and girls, game number one was absolute textbook play by our blue Zerg player, known as Serral, best player on the planet without a doubt, showing us exactly, guys, in game number one why we are giving him that title as the best player on the planet. One of probably the best StarCraft 2 players of all time, and I believe that is absolutely, guys, something that we can start saying at this point in Serral's career, already winning a, of course, BlizzCon as well as numerous tournaments. But that being said, guys, I'm really interested to see how Nerchio is going to try and kind of, get this series back to a tie as a 1-1. So how's he going to try to get the series back in his favor, especially losing in such a demoralizing way, which was, of course, Nerchio, kind of just playing the ultimate mind games against his opponent. Of course, what I'm talking about is Nerchio scouting that, there was a lair that was going up, so he started getting a lair of his own, but then Serral decided to cancel it before it finished and went for a timing push of roaches, zerglings, and ravagers. So this is what Serral does so well, guys. I mean, he's just one of the best players ever to play StarCraft 2, and I think it goes without question. But game number two here, guys, it does look as if both these players are going for relatively standard builds once again. Hatch gas pool coming out of each of these players. We see a couple of queens coming out. You'll see those production tabs are very, very similar at the early portions of the game. We are also going to see Zergling speed coming in for both of these players. And that's something that I'm that I'm really going to be interested, to see if Nerchio decides to go for that macro focus game once again, or is he going to decide to get aggressive early on in this game. It does look like Nerchio is going to begin that Baneling Nest as his first tech of choice in this game number two. And there are going to be, of course, some Zerglings that are moving across the map. They do not engage on, neither decides to kind of start nibbling away at each other. It does look like a couple of Zerglings are going to try to get a little scouting information. They are going to see that that Baneling Nest is now down. And of course, we have Serral going ahead and getting his Baneling Nest as well. Now, there are some of these Zerglings that are starting to nibble away at this third hatchery going down for Serral, but it looks like he will be able to fend off this group of Zerglings. And Nerchio will get his third hatchery as well. So, interestingly enough, we are going to see Serral getting that third hatchery up, as well as, both these players really, they've played each other so many times. They've watched each other's replays and, of course, really know kind of a lot of the strategies that each of them goes for. But I gotta say, guys, that when we're talking the ZvZ matchup, there is just so many mind games that go on. Now, this is going to be a really nice scout here for Nerchio. He's going to see exactly what's going on across the map. Beautiful play there by Nerchio. He wants to keep, know exactly what's going on across the map. And once again, we are seeing pretty similar build orders. Does look as if the evolution chambers are going to be coming in for both of these players. So the +1, ground-based unit upgrades most likely are going to be coming in. And here we go. Nerchio with that run by, getting one of those Zerglings. See, that's exactly the type of thing you need to do in order to beat someone like Nerchio. You absolutely 100% have to put the pressure on him consistently throughout the course of a game. And that goes without question. Beautiful Baneling hits there. But I gotta say, everything said and done, nothing, too crazy or out of the ordinary as of yet. As far as the damage output goes, I gotta say, we're gonna probably see here relatively soon what both these players decide to kind of go for moving forward. It does look like Nerchio has actually gone ahead and getting a lot of more drones. Same can be said, though, for Serral. Serral's going to go ahead and get that lair up and running here. And then it does look as if, it does look like there is a roach warren going down. And that roach warren's going down. And we are going to see numerous, you know, Zerglings coming in by both of these players. You know, 22 and 16 on those production tabs by both of these players. Beautiful play here so far by Nerchio. Really just getting, you know, some nice run-bys in. I really like the way that Nerchio is playing this game number 2. As we are passing that 5.5 minute mark, we are seeing the +1 upgrades for both of these players coming in. And I gotta say, when I'm looking at this, guys, it's hard to tell who's really ahead. I gotta say Nerchio, I believe, is ahead just a little bit because of these Zergling run-bys. And once again, he's gonna try to get... Oh, and he almost got the kill on that queen. Going after the queen once again. Did get her. And that is a really big pickup. Doesn't look like much, guys, but these are the things that really help. And I love the transition for our red Zerg player. He's playing this thing really well, in my opinion. Absolutely keeping Serral on his toes consistently. And we see the missile attacks level 1 finishing up for both of these players. And I love this. I love how Nerchio is playing game number 2. He kind of, you know, made some adjustments here in game number 2, and he's putting the pressure on Serral. And that's exactly what you have to do. If you are playing, you know, if you're playing against, you know, the best player on the planet. I mean, that goes without question. Beautiful Baneling hits. Got to be so careful. Do not want to lose all these Zerglings for practically free. And it does look like some of these Zerglings are going to try to get a little bit of some scouting information. It also looks like that 4th base is going to be coming in for Nerchio. It's already going down for Serral. Glow Reconstitution is going to be researched here for Nerchio. And it also looks like that Hydralisk Den is going down as well. We are going to start seeing the +2 upgrades coming in for both of these players. And it also looks as if Serral's going to be getting, you know, since he has both, he also has 2 of these evolution chambers down, we are going to start seeing the +1, +2 upgrades coming in for him. So that being said, guys and girls, it does look as if, it does look like we are kind of, you know, in that, you know, going towards the 8-minute mark into the game. And it is absolutely, it's pretty, you know, I think this is getting, you know, pretty intense on both ends. And it's hard to tell who's really ahead. The Serral has the, technically speaking, the supply advantage. But you also have to remember that the roaches are very supply heavy. So you also have to kind of think about that as well. So that all being said, it's gonna, you know, this is gonna be an interesting engagement by both of these players. They're both trying to kind of keep each other on their toes. We got the Hydra Den obviously finished up. Missile attacks level 2 is finishing up in less than 5 seconds here for Serral, and we are gonna see, of course, the Lurker Den for Nerchio, and I love this decision a lot. Now we are gonna see 1 Dropper Lord, and we're gonna have to keep an eye on this. We see a lot of roaches that are going to start moving across the map here. It looks like, are they going to take this engagement? It looks like they might try. Serral is kind of, you know, slowly but surely trying to bait his opponent as the Dropper Lord is moving towards that 3rd base location. It's going to drop down. Got to be so careful. These Banelings are going to drop right on top of some of these, on top of some of those drones if he's not careful. Don't want to lose this Dropper Lord though at the same time, and it does look like those Banelings are going to try and do what they can, at least at this point. They did get a little bit of some Baneling hits, and once again over near that 4th base location there is more and more you know, action going on. So guys and girls, we are approaching that 10-minute mark, and I gotta say, when I'm looking at this, both players are kind of in, you know, in a good position, in my opinion. Now here we go. Another fight is going down. Got to be very careful that you do not overextend if you are Nerchio. you know that you got a good opportunity, but with these little roach run-bys, these can do substantial amounts of damage. Now, it looks like Nerchio's response time is going to be very good. He's going to jump on top of this army. Beautiful play here by Nerchio, but at the same time, Serral is starting to move across the map with another, some more army. You know, roaches as well as ravagers are going to be moving towards that 4th base location, and more roaches are going down, but they're also giving a lot of value here for Serral, and it does look like Nerchio is going to start to try to absolutely squash this army. Got to be very careful that you do not lose this army. And just like that, kind of the jawing and the back and forth engagements between these two players. More and more Hydras are going to be coming up. Muscular Augments is going to be finishing up in less than 5 seconds for our Zerg player in blue. So Serral's going to be finishing up, you know, some more of his upgrades. The question is who's really ahead? It does look like our red Zerg player, Nerchio, is going to catch some of these roaches off guard. The same, though, can be said on the other side of on the opposite side of the map here. Serral is definitely getting the better hand, at least at this point. Another run by Nerchio is going very well. He's got these lurkers in an absolutely brilliant position, going after a lot of these drones. Now, it does look like they are going to clean up all of these units, but that 3rd base is going to be very weak. But at the same time, the 3rd base of Nerchio goes down. There is so much happening all over the map. This is intense, ladies and gentlemen, between two of the best Zerg players currently playing in the world. Absolutely beautiful play by each of these players. I'm loving it. I really do. I love, you know, the absolute back and forth engagements between these two players. We are seeing, you know, textbook play. It does look like Serral approaching that 12-minute mark. Looks like he's smelling blood. He's going into that 4th base location. He's got a significant army against Nerchio, at least at this point in the game. And he is trying to absolutely outgun his opponent with the roaches, the ravagers. The biles are hitting. GG is called. And Serral takes a commanding 2-0 lead over his opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Serral and Nerchio, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for news, stay positive, and as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.